So we missed game 1 because we were casting the previous awesome set between Dogal and Cloud. Vinchester's here in the blue. He's playing as the Indians. And then in the red we have Melkor. Melkor is playing as the Huns. This is Gold Rush, which is a classic Age of Empires 2 map. And it's very cool map generation. I don't see any complaints here. Sometimes there can be some bugged resources on maps. Nope, everything looks good. And let's do this. So on Gold Rush you have 7 tiles of gold. You have a 4 tile of gold in the back. And, well, no, it's not always on the back. It just happens to be in the back for Melkor. And then you have 3 tile gold, right? So 7 tiles of gold. 800 gold per tile. And then the rest of the gold is going to be in the center. So in Feudal Age, you're fine for gold. You don't need to go to the middle. In Castle Age, for the most part, you're fine for gold. But you need to get the gold when it's late Castle Age. So normally there's a lot of Castle Age aggression on these hills. And that's exactly what I expect. Probably camels for Vinchester would be his best play versus Huns. I think that Indians could really give Huns some problems. We'll have to see. Gold's nice and safe for Vinch. You can easily wall this. The 3 tile gold's not so safe, which stinks. But again, it's an easy wall off here to the berries. Then from this wood line to his TC. And then same with Melkor. Easy wall off in front of his TC using the wood lines. Gold Rush is a very wallable map, which is, I don't know, I think it makes it better because you're safe at the start, but then you have to be very aggressive later on. We saw Huns give Indians problems with their pikeman siege monk strategy in the Dogal Cloud set. That is really not a possibility on an open map like this, though. I mean, if you could somehow slow the game down, somehow get very far forward, maybe? Melkor's shoes could be good, but I think if Vinchester gets to a lot of camels, it'll make life complicated for Melkor. So lots of questions. There's a pause right now. There's a pause right now. They might be considering, or one player might be considering a restart. T90 Super Duper Official says, T90, have you ever played Mass Effect Trilogy? No, I have not. I have not. Humanoid, you can give me a heart. That's cool. I'll accept a heart. I could use a heart right now. Thanks, man. I can't really see why any player would be considering a restart here. Vinchester, I mean, he will lose 2 turkeys. But he's pushing in deer, so he's fine. It's probably just a pause. Maybe someone's mom needed some help with the laundry. I don't know. I don't know their lives. 1 restart per best of 5, and that restart has to be called before 4 game time minutes. And it's, no restart. So just a pause. Sweet. 3 on wood. Yep, 3 on wood for Vinch. And 3 on wood for Melkor. That tells me they'll both probably open up with scouts. Slumdog Billionaire. The TCs on the overlay, that's in beta right now. I should be getting that within a week or 2. Obviously, right now, it's just 1 TC, so it's not necessary, but I'll make sure to keep an eye on it. We won't see too many TCs in this game. I think we'll see a lot of aggression. If you sit back on Gold Rush and you don't take map control, you'll quickly find that if your opponent's aggressive in the middle, whether that be camels, monks, cav archers, siege, you'll just be starved out of gold. We good? Yeah, something's going on. We're 3 minutes behind, remember, because the spec delay's there. So at 7:40, something happened, and they paused the game. Maybe you go crossbow and pikeman. This sounds really silly, but they'll both start off with scouts. I think that it makes more sense for Huns to transition into archers. So Melkor could go crossbowman, because you make archers in feudal, research crossbow and castle, and then maybe make some pikes, and then try and take the hill. That is, if you're expecting Vinchester to stick with only camels, he could always go camels and skirms against that. It'll be complex. Yeah, Yoshi, I have tons of windows open, man. Welcome to my life, dude. Welcome to my life. Hello from Luxembourg. Hey, Luspo. Miss Vinchester called him on the phone with his uncle. Yeah, maybe. So Vinchester was in a few YouTube videos where he's extremely aggressive. One in particular, I remember, he was playing as Spanish, and he tower rushed in that game, but he was getting beaten back by fire, I think it was. And then all of a sudden, Vinchester comes forward with 15 villagers and places the castle right next to the TC of fire. It was insane. There was a game from 3 years ago where Melkor, or sorry, not for Melkor, where Vinchester and MBL were playing. It's called T90 series. I do have some playlists out there. It was way back in the day. I think I had 100 viewers for that set of games, and that was a big, big deal at the time. And Vinchester microed 2 plumed archers against 3 scorpions. So he kept splitting. It was hilarious. It was so over the top and so unnecessary, but that's how Vinchester tends to play. He likes to micro like that. Vinchester was also one of the guys, I think it was Vinchester and Stark, who started tower rushing on Arena. Like, they kind of came up with the build order for that. So he's the type of guy who comes up with different aggressive strats. Is there a delay between what we are seeing, as in not your delay to the game, but do we have a delay to your casting? No, I mean, there's about 1 second.
We love you, Sam and Daddy.
There's about 1 second delay with what I do and say to what you guys hear, if that's what you mean. Watch. Ready? Guys, say pig when you hear me. Normally, people are not touching their keyboard, so it takes a couple more seconds because they're not ready to type. Yeah, pig. So, 2 seconds maybe? 2 seconds? Let's try it again. Deer. Alright, so it was a bit faster. You guys are good. High word per minute chat. Yeah, so there's not a large delay. Spec delay is normal to prevent any possible stream cheating, which is generally not a concern, but...
Yes.
Please tell me you're not one of those people who leaves 50 Chrome tabs
so
open
Vinchester
and is like, OMG, Chrome uses so much
might have
RAM.
paused because he thought
By the
that there
way,
was a bug.
Zoomers, if you want to visit a page
Gotcha.
later, there's a thing called a bookmark. It doesn't use any RAM.
So Vinchester, I think, had paused it because he felt like there was a bug, because he scouted his whole map, he couldn't find the sheep, but in reality he was lamed. Guess he didn't see the scout around, because the scout was there, so... Well, good job Melkor to steal that. Both players will be going scouts. Deer pushing now for Melkor. I like Melkor's economy. I like the way he has it set up. He has 4 sheep still. Everything seems a bit more cleaner, and Vinchester actually has to run out here to get his deer. Melkor has already scouted Vinchester. He's already scouted more of the map. So certainly a better start for him. But we're talking very small differences. Alright, Melkor builds his stable. Vinchester, he will build his stable. And he has more than enough food now. Scouts v scouts. One scout's a bit weak, one scout's not. Let's get this party rolling, guys. Same exact build order for each player. Will we see an archer transition, though? Huns normally do that. Huns normally make scouts. And then they transition into archers and then cav archers. Oh, Vinch doesn't know where Melkor is yet. He was sitting next to the hill, but he has not seen the stable. Okay, he has to assume he's to the left now. He'll find out soon enough. But if he's to the left, yeah, you see how he's reacted? If he's to the left, then that means he could get attacked, so he needs to run back. Yep, well done. He's fine. Spearman coming out now. Good timing on that, and close game. Melkor is known for his strength when he opens up with scouts. Apparently he went with Slavs in game 1. And Vinchester, he likes units he can micro a bit more. He likes his ranged units. So I think Melkor should have a slight edge in terms of player styles and strengths and weaknesses, but Vinchester's doing just fine right now. Does not know where Melkor is, which is the concern. So he can't see just how many scouts Melkor is going to create. He doesn't know if Melkor goes to gold. He's missing a lot of intel. And another spearman for Melkor. This can make it real tough, actually. Yep. They'll be doing this little dance with the spears and the scouts. The best way to counter your opponent sending spears forward is to make your own spears. And then you fight spear v spear. It's hard to say, spear v spear. Okay, no, it's not. But you just don't know when it's going to stop. There's still more spearmen coming from Melkor. And Melkor will get a villager. Well done. So nice early pressure. Melkor has killed a villager. And Vinchester, he can't seem to push out. Now, this is where it'd be a great decision for Melkor to add that archery range. Because if he adds it now, he could kill his opponent's spearmen with the archers. So far, so good for Melkor. In a game that he really needs to get a victory in the best of 5, it's really difficult to come back when you go down 2 games. Melkor runs back. He considered running into the TC fire. He goes back.
Good evening from Austria.
Oh no, he's going in. He can do this. Vinchester is really on the back foot right now, guys. He's really on the back foot. Oh, and now Melkor runs out. Melkor's running all over his base. I'm getting dizzy just watching this. My goodness. Okay, Spearman dies, but the scouts are too weak at the moment. I really like how Melkor has played this. Really clean, in full control. Gets another kill, and another one. There's so few scouts for Vinchester. Yeah, so this is where Vinchester will struggle, because Vinchester, he's forced to make more spearmen, and Melkor can just make archers to counter that. Now, I notice that as I say that, the archery range is going up, so we'll see that eventually. It seems to me like Melkor's economy is stronger as well. Of course, he didn't lose villas, and he added farms. He has a few more farms from Vinchester. Those are the things you need to look at. Horrible gameplay. Hidden Cup names are announced on the announcement thread. If you'd like to read them all, it's !Hidden Cup 2 in my Twitch chat. Another villager and an archer will die? Melkor's all over Vinch. Okay, the archer's fine, but yeah, so you can look at the thread and all the info's there, but I can give you an example. So for the main event, players will have names like Genghis Khan and William Wallace. It'll actually be Willie Wallace because someone stole the William Wallace name. So names that you've probably heard in Age of Empires 2 campaigns is what the players will have. It'll be funny, man. I could just hear Dave now. He's like, here comes Willie! Dave will be casting 3 out of the 4 days with me, most likely. And you know Dave is going to be rooting for Willie. Let's go, Willie! I could just hear it now. What about Ornlu the pig? No, we have Ornlu the wolf. Not Ornlu the pig. Sorry. What about Ornlu the snail? How's that sound? Nice skate from Vinch. Traps the scouts in here. But Melkor, he's going to click up to Castle Age. Just needs 6 more food. Sorry, Matt. Too late, man. Too late. And the scouts, you might not think the scouts are doing anything, but look how many villagers are hopping in and out of his town center. That's a lot of idle time. If there is an Ornlu the Snail from Age of Empires 2 campaigns, I can swing it. We can make it happen. I must have missed that campaign. Maybe it's an expansion. Melkor has 2 archer ranges. Yeah, so he'll go crossbowman into cav archers. And Vinchester, he still hasn't clicked up yet. Melkor is in full control. The stats, the score, all that stuff, it's deceiving. This is going to be very difficult for Vinch. Look at Melkor. Look how annoying he is. These archers and spearmen should be at Melkor's base, but because Melkor's running around, they're not. This is great. Typical Willie, am I right? Typical Willie. Only Willie would do this. It's such a Willie style. I might switch out a few names. I might allow people to vote. But anyway, you look at the announcement threads, most of the names are good. The scouts have to die. This is so... Like, I shouldn't be focusing on this. These scouts should be dead, but Melkor is focusing on them. Alright. Doink. And doink. Vinch still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age. That's how big the difference is. Vinchester is in really tough spot. Needs 5 food still. There we go. Now he clicks up. So there's a 2.5 minute difference in the time. Crossbow and bodkin arrows on the way. Melkor should be able to fight this quite easily. Vinchester, he's known for his micro. Maybe he'll try and micro at a disadvantage. Wait for the splits. Because he almost needs to hold somehow. So he has to tempt Melkor into shooting and just dodge every shot for another minute and a half. Yeah. Watch. That's what Vinch will do. Split, 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 dodge, dodge. It's not easy to do, and Melkor will be making cav archers soon. Yep. Split. Look, typical Vinchester, man. He's so good at that. He's so good at that. I love Vinchester. This is still so dangerous for him. Vinch is so good with his split micro. Okay, it's a few too many splits there, Vinch. Melkor just needs to keep his distance. He doesn't need to be tempted or baited in. He just needs to keep his distance. He has 7 range versus 5 range. Whoop! Oh, Melkor, what are you doing? You did the exact opposite of what I said. Vinchester's insane, dude. I'm telling you, I love Vinchester so much. I like... A part of me really wants Vinchester to qualify for the main event, because when you see a guy microing like this, you'll just feel like it's Vinchester. I mean, of course, Leary, Viper, all those guys have good micro, but we won't really know. It'll be fun. 42 villagers for Melkor. He is just on 1 TC. He's creating just crossbows. He's creating just crossbows with Huns because he realizes that Indians get camels, I guess. Oh, wow. And, you know, he comes here, Vinchester realizes and runs. And then Vinchester had actually picked off a crossbow. And Vinch is going for crossbow and elite skirm. So Vinch is still alive and well in this game. And now Melkor maybe has ventured in too far. Some good kills for Melkor, though. He's killed a few of the crossbows. But he'll lose just as many as he retreats. Melkor did get ballistics, right? Yeah, he has ballistics on already. It looked like he did in that fight. And now Vinch is getting it. So, micro battle, guys. We are going to see a micro battle. Melkor versus Vinchester. Skirms and crossbows versus crossbows. And skirms and crossbows normally wins that battle. So Melkor will include a knight. I'd like to see a siege workshop. Knight makes this more complicated for the skirmishers, but I'm not so sure, Melkor. Do you want to stay in here? You'll lose a lot of crossbowmen. I'm not so sure about this. Vinchester's fights definitely seem to be better. And now he could make a camel if he sees a knight. Yeah, lots of dead crossbows. Interesting game. Interesting game. It was impressive that Vinchester was able to stall for the amount of time he did, and that's why he's alive still. I hear the camels. He's on 2 town centers, so he'll create camels, crossbows, skirms. This is where it gets real difficult for Huns, because Huns can't boom as well, and Huns struggle against camels and skirms. They struggle a lot. And this is interesting. Melkor has a hill and Vinch has a hill on either side of the gold. Melkor already has villagers committed to the center. He's not messing around, but the knights won't last long. They don't have upgrades. I am scared for Melkor. Is anyone else scared for Melkor? There's a TC for Vinchester. He's catching up in the vill count. Crossbowman doesn't seem to have the food for camels, but has the hill. This is close. This is close. Again, Melkor only on 1 town center, so in theory he'll fall behind in villagers. He says, someone says they're excited for Vinchester. I'm excited for Vinch as well. Since the series is 1-1 though, I would really like to see Melkor get a victory to tie it up. Each best of 5, I want to go to 5 games, right? But Vinch is looking good. His micro's outstanding. Even fighting uphill. Now, Melkor's micro good there. Using the knights as a distraction. Okay. But here comes the first mangonel. So this is what I was hoping Melkor would have created a while back as a siege workshop. And maybe he'll do that now. Now I'll build a stable. I really think a siege workshop would be better. Melkor cannot see that Vinchester's on the hill. Look at the stopping, Vinch. He'll run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, constantly. So much mobility. Oh! Oh! The split from Melkor! Who has micro now? But no, you don't want to run up that hill. Not into the TC. Was a beautiful split though. This is such a close game. And there's the siege workshop from Melkor. And he abandons the gold. This is some sick stuff. Like, you slip up, the game's over. You have to be near perfect with your armies. I love it, man. I love it. This is why I wanted to cast this set of games. Because these two players are so well matched. They're so good. It's going to give us a great set. And what on earth is going on here? Is Melkor going to go to this gold? He is. And he's running around, so for the first time he'll try and use the speed of the knights and the cav archers. There's TCs here, Melkor. And there's walls, and there's jaguars. There's jags everywhere. Yeah, that was not great for Melkor. That was not great at all. And remember, he has fallen behind in the vill count. Okay. If he gets in here, it could be tough for Vinchester. I think he'll run in. Vinchester, expecting that, is already in his base waiting for this. Man, the cav archers are dying to jags and TCs. Vinch gates. I think there's still a hole there. But Vinch is killing all the cav archers. This was a bad decision, man. This was a bad decision to run forward. Melkor... He had the right idea of fighting on the hill. I don't know why he left it. Maybe he didn't feel like he could win versus Vinch. But wow, that was a huge throw of units. I think he should have stayed here. I think he should have gone for mangonels. I think he should have tried to push up the hill. And now Vinchester's building a castle on his hill. It will be too late to push up the hill. Melkor sees it, but you're not going to be able to run up here easily. Vinchester will be making more mangonels and more crossbows and more camels there. And Vinchester has 75 vills versus 66 in Melkor. As far as I can see, Melkor is not on stone. So that tells me he won't have his own castle. And that tells me it'll be almost impossible for him to push Vinchester back. What a hold from Vinch. 2.5, 3 minutes behind. He was definitely outplayed in Feudal Age. But he showed his class to hold on, and my goodness, man. The archer micro versus the crossbows was such a big thing. It might not look really impressive, but it was such a big thing. Melkor calls it. Melkor calls it GG. He knows. He knows he has to be behind his villagers. He knows he can't push up this hill. He knows that he can't secure this hill because he's not on stone, and Vinchester gets the win. What a play, Vinchester. What a play. That was really impressive. That was what I would call a comeback. It wasn't like he was super far behind, but the micro was on display there. Also, it was a throw from Melkor. Melkor, he didn't need to counter. I think that he was scared to run up the hill, so he wanted to try something else, and Vinchester tracked him the whole way and killed him. I think if you have cav archers, which has more HP, cav archers can stand up to mangonel shots more than the crossbows and skirmishers that Vinch has can. So I think if that's your situation, I think you need to use that and try and fight up the hill. Because if you take this hill, you win the game in Gold Rush. Instead of running around, and of course he's going to see you. But it's tough. He obviously doesn't see what we see. It looks pretty obvious for us. He has to know that, though. He has to have that game knowledge. Alright, here's the achievements. So Vinchester is otherwise known as Winchester, and he has 2 wins, a 69 units killed for him. He had a lot of eco for a guy who was later to Castle Age. He didn't have as much food, he didn't have as much gold, but he had a lot more villagers. I think his count would have gone up. Also, of course, he had less gold and he had less food because he wasn't farming and gold mining as much. because he was stone mining to build that castle. Willie Chester Wallace? Yeah, man. All right, well, believe it or not, Vinchester, he is up 2-0 versus Melkor. And the next map is going to be... what was the home map again? Oh, Vinchester wants El Dorado. So Vinchester, he has used Indians, he has used Mayans, he is Chinese, he is Chinese, he is Japanese, and he is Mongols. It's definitely going to be Chinese here. And then Melkor has Khmer, Malians, and Celts. I think either Malians or Celts is probably the play for Melkor. Sin, thank you for 23 months. He says, hey guys, what's up, dude? Ernie, thank you for 5. No, I don't have a new mic. Do I sound a lot different? I heard that my mic made a noise during that game. I think I'm good. I did accidentally drop my microphone against a wall 2 weeks ago, but this is the first time that I've heard any complaints about it, so it's probably just my tone of voice or something. All right, we're good. Cool. Tears for Beers, thank you for the dono. I need to get some salmon tonight, actually. It's a good reminder. Sound like always. Good. It made a high-pitched squeaky noise. Kind of sounded like your voice. It probably was. Sounds like me. I make some weird noises sometimes. I think Spring has me beat with the falsetto. I think he can get a bit higher than me, but I do make some funky noises sometimes. Okay, welcome to game number 3 between Vinchester and Melkor. I think Melkor is going to experiment with a new strategy. He will go fast feudal with Khmer, that's my guess. He has Khmer. It's not often you see Khmer picked for maps nowadays. And this is the first time actually in the whole qualifier we've seen it. And then Vinch has gone for Chinese, which is probably the best Eldorado Civ there is. You start with 6 vills and you get instant food with these fish. And so you maintain that vill lead throughout the entire game. The bonus that Khmer has that I think will be utilized, which would be cool to see if it works, is they don't need their buildings required to advance to the next stage. So normally you need 2 Dark Age buildings to click to Feudal, you need 2 Feudal Age buildings to advance to Castle, 2 Castle Age buildings to advance to Imp. That is not the case for Khmer. Now, I've seen this done before, and it was done by Spring, and I forget. Actually, he played me, yeah, and he lost. And Spring's a better player than me, so I think that whatever you do with your faster feudal has to be very successful. Otherwise, you just drop off in strength with Khmer. The Chinese have so many options; they have so many bonuses that last them throughout the game. So if you haven't seen the map before, there's land fish, there's quicksand here. And somehow, you see this fish? He's jumping out of the quicksand and into the grass. Don't ask me how that's possible. Just Age of Empires things. His nose should stick in the ground and he should just be stuck there. But nope, not in Age of Empires. So you have 350 food on each fish there. Then you have 1 boar. Then you have deer, and then you have sheep. And berries, of course. The gold is the focus in the center. There's gold and stone there, and you can always see that. So if Vinch were to go forward, take the gold, Melkor would see it. And I think in this case, I think Melkor might try and take it because it'll be faster to feudal age. You don't need to be in a rush, though, to take the middle. And I keep saying this, and still players, they try and strategize and take it early. I don't know if that works. It's a bit like King of the Hill in community games, where if you go to the middle too early, you die. And I still have no clue what they'll go for, but you have 800 times 2. You have 1,600 gold here, and then you have 700 stone here. So you do have quite a bit to work with in Dark Age, Feudal Age, and even Castle Age. Ernie, thank you, dude, for gifting 6 subs now. Thank you, man. Guys, I've been in such a zone today. When I cast games back to back to back, it's not that this is a bad thing, but I'm in my serious casting mode. So I am very self-conscious, and I feel like sometimes I don't sound as genuine when I thank people for stuff during this quote-unquote serious casting mode. But it really does mean a lot to me that you guys are here and have been very supportive. So if I thank you for anything and it sounds serious, it's because there's a lot going on, alright? So thank you again. Melkor has built a lumber camp, he's built a mill. So, I mean, those are the 2 buildings that he would need to advance to the next stage. Maybe he'll go for fast scouts. He wouldn't need to build a barracks. So he would just build the stable. You can't see my face, but it's a confused face. I'm a bit perplexed as to why anyone would ever choose Khmer when you have other strong civs available. It's okay. I think it really comes along. Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know. That's all. I have been casting for... Wait. Oh, it's been 5.5 hours. I thought it was only 3 hours. Yeah, just 5.5 hours straight. That's all. Vinch is on the way to feudal first. He has 2 more villagers. And Melkor will be up behind him. Wait, he's going fast castle. He's going fast castle. He's walling up. And he is not... Oh, wow. Okay, so he is going to take advantage of the bonus. This is really fascinating. If he gets his walls up, I really wonder how Vinchester will react to this. Okay, so 23 pop. Oh my good god. Oh. Well.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark.
Well then, you're welcome and big thanks back.
Kryza, thank you, man. Did I scare? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm not sorry. I scared you guys too. You guys trolled me. I troll you right back with that. Thank you very much, Kryza. Man, that got louder. I think that got louder. Jeez. Well, again, as I said before, you even did that, man. You guys blow me away with your support. This is, I believe, a fast castle for Melkor. He needs a bit more food and a bit more gold, and then I still don't know what his plan is. Vinchester has to know it's fast castle. He sees the walls. He knows the person's civ. He's making scouts. Now on this map, you can't farm in the quicksand. So you have to farm where you're exposed. You can't just magically follow him to Castle Age in Vinchester shoes. You're stuck in feudal. Melkor, he's trying desperately to get these walls up now because he can't make spears. Gate it. Oh, Vinch is trying to keep this open.
I find deep joy in your existential pain.
Okay, why is there just text-to-speech? It doesn't make any sense. Wait, Matt just also donated 102 and it didn't work? Oh, do I have to? All right, hold on. The scouts are in. Totally rigged. I'll put myself through this again for you, Matt. Oh! Dude, it's not working. It's not working. I swear, I didn't do this on purpose. It's not working. It's not intentional, man. I will get it sorted after the game, okay? If we have to play that dumb YouTube video, I'll do it. And Melkor is 75% of the way to Castle Age. So he's lost a Ville. Vinchester's got in. Good job from Vinchester to get in here. What do you do? What do you follow this up with? Do you just boom? I don't think you'll have the food to make more villagers. This is such a weird strategy from Melkor. Meanwhile, look at the farming eco for Vinchester. His eco is strong. He just doesn't have the resources for the next stage yet. Not a market, not a blacksmith, not a barracks, not an archery range. I have no clue what this is. Scorpions. Now, I mean, the only thing that would make sense for military would be a stable. Make knights and hope that you could kill your opponent. Knights or elephants. I kind of feel like he wants to get out of here. Oh my god. Oh my god, that did not just happen. Vinchester was waiting for it. Says thank you very much. And now, what was going to be a siege workshop is denied. And why are you still building the siege workshop? This is a disaster for Melkor. He does not seem happy. He says, how did Tot get in? Only 2 got in. He didn't see what happened. He deleted the hole. And Vinchester was waiting there. Vinchester just whoop, snuck right in. And now Vinchester, oh man, like, there weren't vills around the TC. So to get the TC to shoot arrows, Melkor had to send villagers back to his town. This is just over, I think. It's a very sad situation for him. Oh, again, Vinchester goes, no, not today. You're not building anything. Wow. Oh, poor Melkor. The levels of frustration he must be feeling right now would be off the charts. Vinch is being so annoying, though. Vinchester's being so annoying. He can't place it. Vinchester won't let him place it. Oh my goodness. Poor Melkor. Look, Vinch will make another scout. He's just buying time. Whoop. No, just kidding. Whoop. No, just kidding. Whoop. Oh, frickin' Vinchester, man. Frickin' Vinchester. And now he decides to build the siege workshop inside. Did he really want to go scorpions? Was he really going to try going scorpions? That tells me he wasn't very confident against Vinchester if he wanted to try that strategy. The only person I've ever seen try straight scorpions with Khmer is Viper when he's trolling, and even he fails with it, so... Vinchester, of course, will have way more villagers. He can make knights, he can do a lot, and he's... Oh, he's gonna tower the gold. That tower could be better, I think. But, okay, that's actually a smart move. He's already on stone at home, he can still build more TCs, whatever he might want. He's towering the middle now. I mean, just 13 villagers down. That's it. Yeah, it's possible. I'm trying to say this and seem serious. It is definitely possible to come back. Was it believable? Not believable? Okay. I don't like the tower. Just kind of like, yeah, I'm here now. I think with fletching it's perfect. Never mind. I shouldn't have judged it. These scorpions are insane when you mass them, but it took so long to get to the scorpions. I think that... And now Melkor doesn't have gold. He's just having some big old problems. Vinch saw the siege workshops. Here are the scorpions. Here they are. 8 range, guys. 8 range. Siege workshop for Vinch. That's the best move here. Make your own siege. Mangonel Shatter 2 will flatten these. And it's all or nothing now for Melkor. If he doesn't win this game, he will not be in the Hidden Cup 2 main event. The seeding was very close. Remember, we didn't see game 1 because we were casting the other set. But man, does Vinchester look good. What really impresses me, because Melkor's strategy was just weird this game, but what really impresses me with Vinch is his unit control. In the previous game, his unit control was amazing. Oh, he's even in here with the knights now. In this game, his scout movement was crazy as well. Always seems like he's in full control. Look, a forward town center, because why not? He'll idle the farms here. Yeah. Yeah, Melkor, I don't know, buddy. as you can see, the Scorpions are pretty strong. Look at the micro! Look at the micro! He out-microed them. I love Vinchester so much. I'm such a Vinch fanboy, you guys can probably tell, but Vinchester's micros is so good. Now, his downfall is when he plays against a better player, he over-micros, which is really fun to watch, but a bit of micro from Melkor, but he just lost 4 Scorpions. Make that 5. Make that 6. Alright. Oh, game 1 had the bird ducks? Thanks for keeping an eye on that, man. Yeah, I think these Knights and Magonet will be enough to clean up all the Scorpions. And it will clean up Melkor's tournament hopes. Sorry, not host. Melkor calls the GG and 3 relatively quick games. Vinchester is looking good going into rounds 2. My goodness. I definitely expected more from Melkor, but Vinchester, 16 kills, 7 deaths. Nice solid strategy. Vinchester's Civ selection seems good. That's always a concern. Vinchester in the past, I actually thought in NAC2 qualifiers, his Civ selection didn't make any sense for me. So I was worried that maybe in Hidden Cup 2 and future events, he wouldn't have the knowledge to pick the right Civs, but he did. And he won convincingly. And I know we have a lot of Jordan and John Slow fans out there who would like to see those games. So I actually won't waste too much time. Well played, Vinchester. I need to see how many games John Slow and